What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hopefully you guys are having a good day so far. It's getting a little chilly out here. I know a lot of you guys are Midwesterners or maybe from Colorado or something to watch my videos, and you're probably laughing at me because I got a beanie and a hoodie on at 55 degrees, but you know, it's cold. It was 85 last week and now it's 50 degrees today. So back to working on this Civic for Chris. Just finished up doing the transmission swap this morning, or the clutch, flywheel, throw bearing, pilot bearing swap. And cleaned it up, looks good, works. So with this all buttoned up now, I can get to work on the core support. I already went ahead and took the bumper off. It was only held on with a zip tie and a bolt and a couple clips. So yeah, this thing is pretty haggard. Let me show you here. So this side of the core support's held on with 1, 2, 3 self tappers and a wood screw. Nice. A zip tie down here. Oh, it was a zip tie. It was holding it to this bent tie or tow hook there. And this side had a big old bolt sitting in this hole for whatever reason, and there's a single self tapper there. So, pretty janky. So I gotta finish taking the headlights off really quick. Should just be a couple bolts. Replacement core supports back here. Only concerning issue is the ends right here. I don't know if there's any difference between coupe sedan and hatch. I thought they were all the same, but I don't know. But the sticker on here says 96, 98 Civic. But right here on the car right now is flat coming back, and this one obviously has this like bend right here. Not sure why, but I'll get that unwrapped right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the rest of this core support off really quick, get these headlights off, and start test fitting it.
No. This wire's off. I don't know what that's for.
Looks like that was probably supposed to be attached.
Yeah.
Well, I'll reattach that then. See, this is why it's so haggard. Look, it's just electrical tape. It's not even butt connected or anything.
Yeah.
Wow, that's janky. Got the headlights mostly off. Put all these extra zip ties holding the rest of the car together. Hood latch is held on with a zip tie. That's nice. Is it really a modified Honda if it's not full of zip ties? Nothing like the sound of a stripped bolt. Goodness. Yeah, all that's holding it on the radiator too. Gosh dang it. So well, here's what's left of the core support. I don't know why the person before him went ahead and went through all the trouble of drilling out all the spot welds just to leave it on there with a wood screw, 3, 4 self tappers and a nut or a bolt. But it's off. It's janky. They welded this plate on too. This isn't stock. That's really ugly. Did it on both sides too. Right, well that kind of changes a lot. See if I can't even get this other one lined up then with this in the way, but we'll see. So I didn't pay attention really before, but this thing's definitely wire tucked. So they had the plugs for the shock tower tucked up here. I don't know, sketchy. Just because they didn't put any grommets in the holes here, so those wires can definitely run through or rub through. But I'm trying to pull the harness out of the way so I can put the core support on. I had to take the fenders off because this is all mangled, so I got to grind this all down and reshape it a little bit. And I need the fenders off so I can line the support up anyway. But Now with everything out of the way for the most part, I'm gonna go ahead and get the flapper disc on here, smooth this all out so that way it sits evenly, or as evenly against it as I can get it. So I gotta grind off what's up here too, so that way I have a flat welding surface. As for this right here, I don't know why this was bent over, but this was all mangled up as well. So I'm using just my little hammer here and the 2x4, and I'm using this as a base. I'm just kind of hitting the metal against it like that to reshape it. And right here, I'm just gonna, you know, bend this out of the way and back up to where it's supposed to be, and get it reshaped and give it a tack weld in there so that way it actually stays, gives it some strength back. But yeah, whoever had this car before Chris, really ignorant and really stupid. I apologize deeply for you, Chris, for you having to even put your money into this. Like, I'm not saying it's a waste of money, I'm just saying that this car was definitely so abused. But we'll definitely do what we can to get this back into shape. Some of you guys may say it's a waste of time, but to each his own. Again, like I said, maybe last video, beginning of this video, I don't remember. The kid, this is one of his like dream cars, you know. Not everybody wants Lamborghini, or maybe it's a more attainable dream, and he attained it, obviously. So being that it is his dream car or what have you, he's gonna want to put the effort and the money into it. Totally respect, totally understand that. So that's why I'm trying to do what I can to help. And boy, we got some work to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up, throw you guys on a time lapse for a moment, and try and see if I can't get this lined up a little bit. So I got the core support just kind of clamped on here. I don't know if it's the frame rails or whatever you would call this side piece attached to the frame rail, because the frame rail is here, but whatever this thin side is, these are both a little crooked, so it doesn't fit totally edge to edge. This side's actually pushed in a little bit, but I mean the bumper and the headlights line up. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and give it a few tacks and then try and get the fenders on and then see how it fits from there. But I think it's more or less good. This is also, like I said, Certified is made in Taiwan, so you know it's not going to fit for crap as compared to a OEM Honda component. But I mean, I shut the hood latch came down in the right spot, so that's a good sign. I already went ahead and cleaned up the edges for the most part where I'll be welding, and along the front here I got to clean up down here, but along through all these holes, and I don't know, I think this should be okay. So yeah, I'll just give it a few tacks quick and test fit the fenders and the rest of it, and see where we where we're sitting. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going on, but whatever, we'll try it. So I got the core support all tacked up nice. Kind of overkilled it on the tacks for sure, so it would have sucked if this didn't line up. But I got each of the headlights on, got the fenders on. This fender is definitely mangled as is. This one's slightly mangled, but the headlights all line up. I mean, really, it looks pretty good to me. So obviously if the fenders and all that line up, then the rest will. Oh, it looks like the hood still lines up. I mean, obviously I didn't move that, but I mean, with the headlights it lines up good. So I think I'm gonna really just say it's okay. Go ahead and pop the headlights off, finish laying a few welds around it just to really give it some strength. It's solid on there for sure, but I want to put a few more tacks along here in these circles and such. so that way I know it doesn't rip off if he gets it snagged on a curb or something like that. Radiator sits good like it should, so gonna call that a win. Give it a little touch up in rust resistance. Got the front end all put together now. Lines up really good. I'm stoked on it. These fenders are a bit baconed for sure. This one over here is a little malaligned, but I have it centered pretty much on the holes. It's obviously good here, but it is clipping the door a little bit. So it's just, the fender is just so trashed, but nothing I can really do about that. So with this all good to go now, I'm gonna go ahead and put my charge pipe on that thing and the filter on it, spin around the block and see what the boost is looking like on this actuator. And then call it a day, right? So got this all buttoned up. It's a little tight right here as to what I would like. I can always go in and shorten this up a little bit more later on. But as for now, should work. I do have to shorten this, but I had to use electrical tape to cover the hole because whatever, but once my extension cord for the welder comes in tomorrow so I can actually start using it, I will fill that hole up and I can shorten this filter down a little bit because it's barely touching the hose right now. It'll be okay, but I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up. I was just topping off the oil. I did lose a little bit when I popped the drain lines off and stuff, obviously, so go ahead and fire this thing up and make sure that's all good and spin around the block, see what kind of boost this actuator makes, and if it's too much, turn it down. And if I can't turn it down enough, then I'm gonna have to save up for a boost controller. Moved on to a new day yet again, so now I'm gonna go ahead and drop the gas tank on this thing. Not much to film. I mean, if you guys have never done it, there's just two straps that hold the tank supported underneath the car. So I gotta get it jacked up, pull those off. Young Wavy has shown up, so he's gonna pop his wheel hub off. We're gonna press in a new wheel bearing for him, and then he finally picked up some new fenders, get rid of this cursed yellow Y49 one. So he's got some freshies to put on over yonder. So yeah, just kind of glimpse over a little bit of what we're going on today, and then we'll get this video wrapped up since it's already been over the course of a few days now. So I crawled under here to check out the tank, and on these tanks, I think most tanks, but these ones got these drain plugs right here, so I kind of figured just to give it a check to see if it was loose. And sure enough, the drain plug was just loose. It was barely on there hand tight, so that's why he was losing gas out of there. So we don't even need to swap this tank, I don't think. I'm gonna go ahead and snug this up, and I mean, it's not dripping as is. I'm dry, so I'm gonna just let him know that he has a spare tank. We didn't need to replace it, but AD is gonna come on down with the fuel line that needs to be replaced because that line from the filter to the rail is leaking. So yeah, easy fix. So I just used the OEM bracket, cut it off, and just re-welded the tab, welded a bolt onto the firewall here, and used a nut to hold this in place. So it's at least mounted now. AD just came in clutch with a new fuel line, so this shouldn't leak anymore. So now that this is all good, DJ and I have been working on doing his wheel bearing, but this wheel bearing has not been too kind to us. So spent forever trying to get all the other pieces out. Both the races came out, all the balls and such came out, so this is the new one. So I tried welding on some rods in here to hammer it out because I can't press it out because there's nothing to press off of, and I don't have anything big enough for the circumference or inner circumference or diameter of that. So I think we're just gonna have to keep hammering at it and chiseling at it until it comes out, and then we can press this new bearing in. But this sucks. So I finally was able to get this thing on there. can see I broke some of it off before when I used lower heat settings on the welder, but I just welded these on here again, and now it's actually starting to come out, so I'm gonna go ahead and just finish smacking this out real quick.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
How you feeling?
I'm ready to kill myself.
How's this coming along?
It's coming.
After,
we'll be done eventually.
like 4 hours? I don't know, 5 hours? We've been out here for a while.
It's been a long time.
So guys, I got the hatch prepped up now. It's got its first coat of primer on it. Went through sanding it a bit today. Found some time to do so. If you don't remember, that's for the red DA that I worked on before. This is the hatch that's going on it, since if you guys remember, he had broken the glass on the hatch. And if you also notice, the Civic is gone, so I just want to touch up on that really quick. I kept saying that Civic had a lot of issues, and that Civic realistically should just be junked. It is pretty much trash. The front end is beat to hell. It's just, the motor is shot. Like, it's got a lot of issues. That car needs a lot of money and or somebody with the right skill set and knowledge. I would never touch something like that, because to me that's just too far gone. I'd rather have a bare shell than start with something that's been so destroyed like that. But to each his own. I just want to point out, or inform you guys that I told the guy, they picked the car up last night, and he had the audacity to message me today kind of slandering my work, saying that it doesn't line up for trash, the new fenders don't fit, claim that I dented the fender, blah blah blah, all this other stuff that I obviously didn't, because I'm pretty sure the footage shows. I'll have to go back over when I'm editing it, but pretty sure the driver's side fender was definitely dented beforehand, because the driver's side was pretty beat up, the passenger side was eh. But I even showed him that after I got everything lined up and everything, it all lined up good. All the bolt holes were where they were supposed to be. So I'm thinking realistically the guy probably just bought the wrong fenders, maybe got heated, and I was obviously the last one to touch it. So he is obviously, I'd be the one to blame in that situation. But if you got the wrong fenders, that's on you. You can't blame me for that. But I'm not trying to slander this kid and his family. I'm just saying that they're coming at me with false claims or these aggravated claims, saying that I messed the car up and the clutch was worse now than it was before because the pedal pressure, even though I told them exactly why the pedal pressure feels bad, because the master cylinder is dripping onto the carpet. It's got a big leak, and they even reused the original pressure plate. But you know, I think this is one of those situations where you really just can't please everybody. I'm confident in the quality of my work. I know I'm by no means a professional. I'm not ASE certified. I don't have a body shop diploma or degree or anything like that, but I know that I did sound work. So if you guys end up watching this, I'm sorry that you guys are so frustrated. Hopefully you guys get it sorted out, and hopefully you guys can pay the correct guy to do the job. But anyways guys, hopefully you at least found this video entertaining mildly. DJ broke his car again last night out driving around, so maybe in the next video we'll have some of that with whatever he did. I don't even know. He sent me a video in the middle of the night showing that it sounded like a Subaru with a misfire, so we'll have to see what's up with that. But if you enjoyed it, be sure to hit thrust that like button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you already are subscribed and you haven't already, turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload. Anyways guys, do what you love. You get by the rest. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.